now, just waiting for the grid to be cleared. The 3-minute board went up a wee while ago. Oh yeah, it was one of the silver cars at the back. That's the number 69, isn't it? That's Jackie Wu in the Shanghai Pudong racing car. So that's awful news for Jackie, who's been sharing the car with Jeff Aziz. Jeffrey out in it last time, so not good news for Jackie. He hopefully will get that car going and should be able to join up after the formation. It does mean he'll fall to the back of the grid. So on the front row then, it's very much like the 22, Leo Ye, and 20 that were sitting at the front. Leo Ye and Daniel Liu went long, so slight change to what I was expecting, if I'm honest. Then in 9th and 10th. 11th, Henry Kwong, 3rd in the AM Championship in the 91. Li Chao alongside him. Row 7, Li Jia and Wu Jimin, the 55. Then row 8, Jackie Wu. Well, we've seen him pushed away. Nathan Liu and Liu in the 911. And at the back then it'll be Li Kang in the number 12. Zubiang and the 666 of Ling Yue. But of course, if Jackie can get that car going, or at least if the team can get that car going, and that will join on at the back. But as all of the cars have gone through, he will not be allowed to take his place on the grid. Now let's identify some cars for you going around. The bright orange is Yu Kuai, number 99, Team Star Chase, run by Absolute. Absolute running 4 cars in this race this weekend. Team Principal not here this weekend, he's been across in Europe. I think staying across in Europe until, well, he was over here for Le Mans, and over in Europe for Le Mans. So the Shanghai circuit-based team then with 4 cars in this race. And to the grid, can't see that Jackie got out of the pit lane. Jackie Wu. So looks very much as though he is going to have to sit this one out. That's very disappointing for him. 35 minutes on the clock. Waiting for the last cars to come around, and the Porsche intervention vehicle at the back is just pulling into position. Let's wait to see if we get a green flag at the back of the grid. Well, certainly there's a bit of reversing going on there. Well down the grid with cars out of position. I'm supposing that's because Jackie Wu's not there, and somebody might have tried to make up a position there. It's one of the silver cars further back down the grid. And the lights go out, and we are racing in round 5 of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia for 2021. Good start by the pole sitter, Leo Ya. And Leo, oh, there's the orange car going wide, and that is Yu Kuai in the number 99. But Leo Ye just holding on at the moment from a very hard charging Daniel Liu, who went wide, tried to get the cut back in the early parts of the lap. Big Lincoln Co facility on site. We'll know those from WTCR, of course. Still part of the Geely Group. Coming up to side by side here for the lead as Daniel Liu tries to go around the outside in the white Porsche, but doesn't get that one. But beautiful cutback, 2 drivers left now, and the pool sitter Liu Ye is going to have to give here. And halfway around the first lap, and we are only halfway around the first lap, we are already. Oh, big lock up by the pool sitter. He's going to go all the way around in the chicane. That'll be carnage there. How did everybody miss him? He's pointing in the right direction. And the BT Group car, second in the championship with a win already this season, somehow gets back into the fray without losing too much ground or any major parts of the bodywork. Here's the bumpy part of the circuit, coming through this very technical last third of the track from turns 10 onwards. Pit lane entrance on the left-hand side, and it'll be Daniel Liu then that leads out as they go across the line. Second place, fighting his way through. Looks like Max Weiser has picked his way through the carnage in the white car with the red mirrors and the red stripes. That's a Toro Racing car, I think it is, yeah. Then in third position is the number 86. That's Toyue. I said watch out for Toyue, didn't I? Fast starter. Top 4 made up by the number 99. That is the orange car of Yu Kuai. Those are all pro class cars. Kuai in the orange car, just sitting, watching the battle. But he's under pressure actually from the best of the Pro-Am, second in the Pro-Am Championship, but with 2 wins this season. Bao Jinlong should actually be leading the championship, but had a non-finish earlier on. That's the dark-coloured car behind the red and white machine. The black, red and white. So that's the second place in the championship for the Pro-Am category, but 4th in the race, 5th in the race, should I say. Sitting in there, Toyue right now behind Max Weiser. Max, who around the turn of the century now, some 20 years ago since he started his motorsport career, very traditional, started in karting, and every year he's done a few races in various parts of the world. GT series, we've seen him in a number of different manufacturers, and in the Toro cars. I say no Andre Couto this weekend, so that's second. And third pops out. Beautiful move down the inside by Toyue, but can't get that one done. 86 car drops back in, the darker car, the bright orange car in 4th position then. There's Yu Kuai. And now up into 5th, that's interesting. Recovering back through the field, the number 12, that's Ling Kong in the silver and blue Maidong Racing car, in behind that orange car. So the top 5 now, all pro drivers, and the battle is for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. So the silver car with the blue stripes on the nose in 5th position, Lee Kong. And then the first of the Pro-Am cars in 6th is the number 6, Bao Jinlong, dropping away a little bit. Just going through the field. Yuen Bo is next up in 7th. In 8th, the number 66 is Min Hung, second in the Pro-Am class. And best of the arms, it will be no surprise if you've watched any of these races this season. Eric Kwong in 10th position in the number 23. 3 wins on the year already in the multicoloured Kiddie World racing car. Keep an eye out for that further down the field. But at the moment, our attention is focused on the battle for 2nd place as they come onto the start-finish to start another lap. 16 laps. And again, the dive down the inside in that sweeping first corner, but not quite close enough for Toyue in the number 86 car, the dark-coloured dark and red and white car, so black, red and white car. The white, grey and red car is Max Wieser. And at the moment, I wonder if he's just pacing himself. 16 laps around this circuit, or 35 minutes, whichever comes the quickest. But at the moment, we're racking the laps up. In practice and qualifying, we were down in well under 1 minute 50 seconds, down into the 48s and 47s. Track temperature rising all the time, though, as the sun is shining. We were expecting a little bit of cloud today. That's what the weathermen said, but beautiful clear skies at the moment. Out in front, the number 20 of Daniel Liu, Wenlong. And he is making his bid for freedom. I wonder how much performance, though, he's taking out of his Michelin tyres. Always very much a balancing act. There's Wieser in second place for Toro Racing. Third place, Toyue. So 5 seconds between first and second. Not that much between the next four, barely a second, as the leader crosses the line. Here comes the battle for second. Now, will Toyue once again dive to his left as he goes to turn one? He's tried it the last couple of laps. Here he comes again, but he's not close enough. I don't think he's doing himself any favours by doing that, because all he does is scrub speed off as they go into the first proper corner at turn 3. And that is, in some ways, giving Max ahead of him a bit of a free pass. Right in behind in fourth place is that bright orange Yiquai, number 99 car. And then just now on the back of Yiquai is the number 12. That's the silver and blue Ninkong. Bao Yinglong for Team Shanghai Yonder, best of the AM drivers, but look behind him, because coming quickly, Ming Hung. And behind the 66 car, that's another one of the leading lights in the Pro-Am category. Second in the championship for Bao Yinglong. So Bao Yinglong, 6th and leading the Pro-Am, second in the championship. Then Ming Hung, and then third sitting in there as well with a win to their name and leading the championship. Bianye. Bao Yinglong then with round about a second and a half before the rest of the pack as far as Pro-Am is concerned. Second, third, fourth, fifth, cross the line. Down again towards that fast sweeper. Let's see what Toyue does. Again, goes for that tighter line. Oh, bit of a lot up there. Now, was that Max or was that Toyue? The Toro Racing car with the red stripe halfway up the door. Holding on to second, but losing ground on Daniel Liu. So now almost 6 seconds. Oh, does it look like the Toro Racing car's getting a little squirrely? Certainly it seems that Toyue can pick any part of this Ningbo circuit to get around the track, and is tracing very much tighter lines at various parts of the circuit. But again, I will sound a little note of caution here. Does that mean that the Michelin tyres are having their best performance taken out of them now? Cars fueled for the whole race and quite heavy at the start. Always, again, a bit of a compromise as to whether you set the car up for when it's heavy and full of fuel, or do you make it at its best when it's light at the end of the race. The advantage at the beginning of the race, if you want to get the performance, and maybe that's what Daniel has done at the front of the field, is, you know, if you've got track ahead of you, you can use that Michelin tyre performance when it's at its absolute optimum and drive away. But then at the end, maybe you're having to defend, your lap times go out a wee bit, and at that point, you're not tyres crying enough, but your car isn't at the optimum setup for where you are. That's what I mean about it being a compromise. Always the same in these races. Really good proving and training ground for future GT endurance races, because you are managing your, I suppose you'd say, you're managing all your weapons throughout the race. There's the AM leader, Kiddie World Racing's Eric Kwong in the multicoloured car. What a season he has had. Really done a cracking job. Just dropped out the top 10 now as the number 911 of Nathan Le Renlu has gone through from a rather lacklustre qualifying for Nathan. He'll not be happy with that. So fighting back into the top 10 now, 6th in class for Nathan, but Eric, who has done just a fabulous job, 3 wins already in the AM Championship out of 4 races, not been off the podium, and with a commanding lead, by far the best lead in the championship. Just a couple of points under 100 at the moment, nearly 20 points ahead. It's almost a full win ahead of the chasing pack. Now that Toro Racing car is a little bit further down the field, and that then is the battle between, well, it's just at the bottom of the top 10, isn't it? The guys going through 7th, 8th and 9th, 66. It's the Ningbo Toro Racing car, so that's the 2nd place car in AM. Now, do my eyes deceive me? Is Ningbo actually, and that's Toro Racing car coming up the start-finish line now. And certainly he's dragging another couple of Pro-Am cars behind, the Absolute Racing Biennier, and behind that the number 68, it's another Pro-Am, and that's Jobiwan for Maidong Racing. I think they're closing in on the leader, you know, in their class, 6th place, number 6, Bao Yinglong. So they kind of want to work together at the moment if they're going to get up the field. Another little 4-car battle still going on, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th, and there's been a change in position there because the bright yellow car, bright orange car rather, has dropped down a position. So Yu Kwai has dropped down. Oh, big lock up there by the 2nd place driver, Max Wiesent. Now he's not in the championship fight, and straight away Yu Kwai for Team Star Chase comes back and retakes that 4th position that he'd lost on the previous lap to the number 12 of Lin Kong, and that was all started and precipitated by the big lock-up of the front tyres of Max Visser in 2nd place. That gap to the leader now, 6.5 seconds. As they come through, the leader's gone through. Leader's on his way to turn 1. The battle coming out the final corner is up for 2nd on down. 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. Max turns in again, prefers that wider line, and it does work for him. Some frustration, I would think, from Toyue in 3rd place in the number 86, been looking at the back of that Toro Racing Porsche ahead of him for already 8 of the 16 laps that we are expecting here today. Clean and green at the moment, so I don't think we're going to have to worry about the time. Into the middle section, which the car's dealing with the slightly bumpy surface. So Max fighting really hard and going wide. That's what set off the incident, as Toyue got all the way down the inside. In fact, it was Toyue who locked up there and rode the curb on the inside. Li Kong having a look down the inside in 4th as he was then. In So that means that Yu Kuai has dropped back to 5th position. Top 5 all pro cars, and these 4 battling for 2nd to 5th. So Toyue in that black, white and red car, for a moment, had the nose of his Porsche up the inside. Max Visa, who is fighting a stout rear guard action, isn't it? Once again, the leader's gone through into the second half of the race now. Oh, looked like it was 2 bites of the cherry at the final corner for Max Visa. He might have a little bit of a problem. Yeah, he's gone defensively, hasn't he, across the start-finish line. And again, down the inside for Toyue. He's tried that every lap. He was closer to getting it done. And the second place man's gone so wide on turn 2 that surely Toyue will get through. They're side by side. And here comes the 4th place car as well. And by fighting to try and hold on, Visa's going to lose 1, 2, possibly 3 places. Defending now against Yu Kuai. And that all started at the last corner. He had 2 goes at the last corner, the front end just not turning in on the Toro Racing car. And now ahead, he's got a grandstand view of Li Kong and Toyue, and Li Kong's gone through. Brilliant run for the driver of the number 12 Maidong Racing car. Li Kong then in 2nd position, with Toyue still in 3rd, looking at the back of a different Porsche now, that which he was seeing at the start of the race. Tell you what, he'd be able to give you a very good description of the whole of the tailpiece of a 992 Porsche Cup car, whether it's a Toro Racing car or a Maidong Racing machine. So, Ling Hong in the 12, in 2nd. Toyue must be cursing his luck there. Pulled a great manoeuvre to get into the lead, forced the mistake into 2nd, excuse me, leading this group. Forced the mistake from Max Visa, but still hasn't managed to wrest 2nd place. Toyue still looking at the back, leading the championship with 2 wins on the season in the pro class. He's got to be thinking big picture, hasn't he? Now, the battle further down that we were looking at earlier on for 7th, 8th and 9th. And that is 2nd, 3rd and 4th in the Pro-Am Championship. That's the silver and red, or the white and red, number 66. That's another Toro Racing car. And that 66 is Min Hung. Behind and pressurising at the moment, the number 68 is Zhou Biwan in the GT silver car with the Porsche decals on the side. They're battling for 2nd and 3rd in the AM class. Just fighting his way through there. I noticed Nathan Liu just coming through in the 911. Just as far as the championship's concerned, Toyue is leading the Pro Championship. 2nd in the Pro Championship is the number 22, Liu Ye. And that 22 car, well down at the moment, has had problems. Jackie Wu didn't start, and also a car with problems is the 88. So I wonder if Yuan Bo and Liu Ye, both absolute run cars, I wonder if they've had an issue. Oh, side-by-side contact, and round was the number 68 of Zhou Biwan. He was 2nd in the AM, 3rd in the AM class there, Pro-Am class, 8th overall, and that's cost him a lot of ground. He's dropped down to 11th position. That was Eric Kwon going through in the Kitty World Racing car, that multicoloured car, right ahead of him. So that was side-by-side action for 2nd, and you've got to say it was pretty robust driving. I don't see that anyone did anything wrong. In fact, there wasn't a touch. There wasn't a touch at all. So Min Hung just holding his line and trying to go round the outside. The mistake was made, and that's dropped the number 68 driver, Zhou Biwan, for Maidong Racing way down, just too much pace. And now, 9-11, Nathan Liu going through, not in the same class. More experienced driver, Nathan. It's been a good drive back from a fairly lowly qualifying position. Nathan Liu went who? Team Porsche China. And now through into 7th position, but some 15 seconds or so off the back of the leading 5. Tell you what though, at the front of the field, since getting through in a fairly opportunist overtaking manoeuvre, Lin Kong has closed the gap to our leader, that being the Daniel Liu Wenlong, Team Jebsen, white and blue, number 20. He's certainly closed it down. Yellow and black car, that's the number 91 of Henry Kwong, 3rd with a win under his belt so far this year in the AM part of the championship. Behind him, 828 Li Jia. And behind Li Jia is... sorry, that was the... yes, it was Li Jia, and the 91 behind him, Henry Kwong, as we were mentioning. Henry still battling on. Now, further up the field, this is side-by-side action, and again, that's the bright orange of Yu Kuai, the number 99. Battling with the 7th, the Toro Racing car of Mac Visa. They're side-by-side on the infield, ahead of them. Starting to split up a little bit, Toyue in 3rd place and making a bid for freedom and trying to chase down the leader. Gap's under 5 seconds, by the way, to the leader. Lin Kong has really been putting some quick laps in, very quick laps indeed. So this is what I was talking about earlier on, with 4 laps and a little bit to go, 4 laps and change, I suppose my American colleagues would say. Lin Kong, can he close down with a bit of extra pace that he saved in the Michelin tyres? And what is going on at the front of the field with Daniel Liu Wenlong for Team Jebsen, who currently leads. Meantime, the battle for 4th and 5th has gone the way of Yu Kuai, and Max Visser, for such a long time in 2nd place, now has dropped down to 5th, but not in championship contention, remember, so it's purely for pride for Max. 8:28. That's Li Jia in the all-black KW suspensions car, sitting in 16th position and 4th in the AM class. He's the last of our runners at the moment. But he is still running, which you cannot say the same for the 88 of Wenbo and the 22 of Liu Ye. He's 2nd in the Pro Championship. Liu Ye scored as 18th at the moment, having only completed a couple of laps, so clearly early problems there. And that's going to do his championship hopes a huge amount of harm. So here comes the 8:28, completes another lap, has fallen off the lead lap. Pace of, in fact, leader just coming up to put a lap on him, should I say, Daniel Liu Wenlong for Team Jebsen. Been a fairly lonely drive for our pole sitter. Made sure he converted the pole into the lead early on in the white car with the blue accoutrement. So he's going to have traffic, and that gap to Li Kong, that's Li Kong in the background there, that's under 4 seconds now. Has Li Kong is he going to run out of laps? Caught in that battle for second, third and fourth behind Max Visser for so long. Watch for the silver and blue number 12 of Maidong Racing. He can see the leader. Oh, that is so good, you know. When you're chasing somebody down, he'll be able to see that white car, he'll see the black car ahead and know that it's a back marker. What do you reckon? Is he gaining? I reckon that's well under 4 seconds now. 3.8 at the line. Toyue in third. Yu Kuai in fourth. Max Visser in the Toro Racing car in fifth. But the battle is now on at the front of the field. But time and laps are running out. Oh, lock up for the leader. Lock up for the leader on the left front. So, the speculation was earlier on here, had he charged away from the field too quickly? And what did that do for his Michelin tyres? Now, late apex on that downhill right-hander as we're coming towards the last quarter of the lap. That's not 3.8 seconds now, is it? It's barely 3 seconds as they come to the final corner. Leader then crosses the line. It's 3.1 seconds. 2 laps to go. 5 miles. What has Lin Kong got left in the performance stake? Very impressive drive in that number 12. Really took his opportunity for Maidong Racing with that schmozzle that we had between, it was Max Visser and Toyue, wasn't it, who were having that cracking scrap for second and third. 12 car sitting in fourth or fifth. Last lap board has gone out. So my arithmetic slightly fuzzy. So certainly Lin Kong will struggle now. Leader flashing his lights. Oh, is that a bit of pressure then for Daniel in the number 20 car? Now, did he get the last lap? Is he aware that he's only got about 1.5 miles to go? Clatters the curbs in the back chicane. Think he's done enough, you know. Coming into nice driving as well by Leisure. Got to do the same for the second place car. Get on the flasher. Lin Kong, come on. If you've got any chance at all, it's now. That wasn't the ideal line by the leader, dropping into that downhill right-hander. Just 3 or 4 corners to go now, though. So I think we can probably say, in fact, 2 corners to go now. I think we can say this is a well-judged drive by our pole sitter. And now our winner, Daniel Liu Wenlong for Team Jebsen, will take round 5 of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia for 2021. Lin Kong in second, Toyue in third. That's the podium. Yu Kuai, number 99, in fourth. In the Absolute Racing orange car, Max Visser for Toro Racing in fourth position. Those are your top finishers. And as far as the class winners are concerned, I'll give you those in a moment. As a very, well, are these guys still racing? I think these guys are still racing, you know. Lin Kong, having a look down the inside. Was there a checkered flag? Now there was I calling the leader home. And now certainly Daniel has lifted off, so I think they've all got the message. Yes, they have. Yes, they have. There was brake lights there, so they are indeed slowing down. It looked to be a rather boisterous slowing down lap. Daniel Liu Wenlong for Jebsen then wins the 5th round of the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia. And the first of 3 this weekend here at Ningbo. Well, I have to tell you that the last time I watched motor racing here was a very wet run when Esteban Gutierrez took the lap record for the Chevrolet RML Cruise in the old World Touring Car Championship, now superseded by the WTCR. Bjork has the lap record for that on a 51.6. We've smashed that to bits, seconds away from that in this race already. And 2 more races to come, although maybe it will be a little warmer this afternoon in the second race, and then we're back tomorrow morning at the same start time. So Paul through to the win for Jebsen. That very distinctive white and blue livery. And delight on the face of the driver under the helmet. Well done, Daniel. It's his first win of the season, and the opportunity to really rack up some points this weekend with 3 races. Back here in 2 weeks' time as well for another event weekend. Then Kong there in second place, and Toi Yue in the 86. Good respect from all the drivers. And they'll have to complete the post-race checks, get weighed. Cars will go through the post-race tech as well. Let's confirm the results then of round 5 of this year's championship. Daniel Liu Wenlong wins for Jebsen from Mai Dong's Li Kong in second, Toi Yue in third. And we had Bao Yinlong winning in the Pro-Am category, and it'll be no surprise at all that in the Pro-Am competition we've now got a 4-time winner. So, very good start from the front of the field. It all happened at the sharp end of the field. Being seen from Paul, of course, he wasn't from Paul, he was from second place. It was the 22 of Liu Ye who led away and second in the championship with a win on the season. But Daniel Liu did get through early on, and after that it was bad news for the pole sitter. That slide around and then the touch, that'll be broken left front. Then that's why the Absolute Racing driver, the BT group, dropped down and finished well out of it. From then on, all the battles were for the minor places. It was the crumbs from Daniel Liu's table. Max Visser going wide in the number 7 Toro Racing car. Toi Yue taking the opportunity and thinking, yes, great, I'm up to second. I'm not up to second. Who's this coming through? Well, that coming through was Ling Kong. Took second and held second, and then started to chase down the leader. Further back down the field, good battles in the Pro-Am class until the number 68 overdid it for Joby1. Really, nobody had any answer for those opening laps of Daniel Liu in the Team Jebsen car from the outside of the front row. There we go, give him his due respects. Made the pass for the lead. He's been in the lead so long, I thought he started on pole position. Took the checkered flag, and at the end, it was just under 3 seconds, the margin of victory. So good points haul there, and that will have championship implications with the problems for Liu Ye. So that's the first of our 2 races today. Make sure you join us in the same place later on this afternoon for round 2 for Ningbo. I'm John Hindhaugh. Bye for now.